Looking back at December of 2017 when The Last Jedi made its release by Disney and Lucasfilm, since then there's been a lot of backlash against the sequel trilogy and how Disney and Lucasfilm are handling things for Star Wars as a franchise. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really intriguing about all of this is that we do know that, of course, Disney is trying to really restructure the Star Wars franchise into something very attractive for new fans, casual fans, and especially the hardcore fans around the world. Now, since The Last Jedi's release, there's been a lot of backlash against that film, pretty much ongoing. A lot of fans are still unhappy with the movie. You know, I myself had a lot of problems with the film, but that's just my opinion. And a lot of fans just don't want Rian Johnson's new trilogy to happen. Now, there's been a lot of talk before in the past couple of weeks that Rian's trilogy is kind of up in the air. And this very interesting interview, by the way, you guys can go ahead and check it out below in the description. It's a very interesting interview where he was actually being asked about his new trilogy and exactly what the progress is as of right now. And this is what Rian Johnson had to state, and is by far the biggest hint of Disney canceling Rian Johnson's trilogy or making a change of plans. Now, Rian on his trilogy, he says, well, we'll see. I mean, I'm still talking to Lucasfilm. They're figuring out what they're doing. And, well, we'll see what happens. But you know, I'd be thrilled if it happens. But I'm doing my own stuff too. So that's the thing here, the fact that he says, I'd be thrilled if it happens. Let's look at that, little word there, if. So now it seems that it does match up with the rumors that we have actually been hearing for 2 weeks that Rian Johnson's new trilogy is up in the air and they're not quite sure exactly what they're doing with it. Now Rian Johnson is saying, I'd be thrilled if it happens, and of course, well, we'll see. I mean, I'm still talking to Lucasfilm, they're figuring it out. Now, that really is big, and this really does tell us that some changes are being made. What do I make about all of this? Well, I think that there are changes being made since Kathleen Kennedy is bringing in Kevin Feige of Marvel into the Star Wars universe in order to do not only his own Star Wars movie, but the rumor right now is that he's eventually going to take over Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy is going to step down sometime in the 2020s. So look forward to that, because I feel like that Kevin by far would be a better leader than that of Kathleen Kennedy if you guys had to ask me. Now, about Rian's trilogy, alright, and about The Last Jedi. Now, I know a lot of you out there, either, some of you like The Last Jedi, which is fine, but there's also a lot of people who dislike The Last Jedi based on the decisions made by Rian and Disney and Lucasfilm and what was approved by Kathleen Kennedy. So like I say, I've always expressed this before in the past, that I myself, as a fan, had a lot of problems with The Last Jedi, and that's just my personal opinion, and, my feelings on the new trilogy was just not right by Rian Johnson. By the way, there's 2 trilogies supposedly in the works, if Rian's goes through, of course, right? So, we have the David Benioff and D.B. Weiss trilogy, which is, of course, the Game of Thrones guys, also known as the 4th trilogy that's coming first, and then we got Rian Johnson's, which, even if it is approved, it's not going to come out until very far into the 2020s, right? So, when we look at Star Wars as a whole, the fact that they are literally adjusting their timeline of these movies. In fact, you guys may have heard that we talked about this about 3 weeks ago, that Disney and Lucasfilm are considering bringing back spin-off films, and to give it another shot in a different pattern by Kevin Feige. And that's exactly why he's on board, apparently. So, not only do they have a new trilogy in the works and a handful of live-action TV series, they're currently working on the 4th TV series after Obi-Wan Kenobi. We're not quite sure what that might be. There's rumors that suggest it's going to be a Mara Jade TV series. So, moving on from that, Rian Johnson's trilogy, that's the thing though. I think a lot of people disagreed with that for 2 big reasons. The criticism of The Last Jedi and how things were handled and how fans felt after that film. And exactly the fact that Rian would be pretty much, painting his story on a blank canvas. Basically, shifting away from the Jedi, the Sith, everything related to that medium of the Star Wars franchise, and just doing something completely new that fans have never seen before at all. Meanwhile, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, they're going to be staying within the mythology. They're going to be basing their movies around that mythology. We're talking about, lightsabers and, the Jedi, the Sith, whatever have you, right? That's their set for the new trilogy. whatever it's going to be, the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic, something new that we haven't seen before, or maybe even a remade version of a certain era in Legends. We'll have to wait and see. As far as Rian's goes, though, it's something that's not connected to any existing characters, planets, lore, you name it. It's just an entirely different trilogy, and it could very well match up with what we talked about a year ago, that they were considering that Rian's trilogy would be based in a different galaxy. You guys may recall that. So you can see that Disney and Lucasfilm, they are going through changes, they're trying to figure things out, and the fact that Disney, alright, is of course adjusting their plan by having Kevin Feige on board now is big, and I believe that that actually made an impact on the development of Rian Johnson's trilogy, hence why Rian right here says, well, we'll see. I mean, I'm still talking to Lucasfilm. They're figuring out what they're doing. And we'll see what happens. But, you know, I'd be thrilled if it happens. But I'm doing my own stuff, too. So Rian's actually got his new movie coming out, Knives Out. And he's also got another film in the works, apparently, that he wants to work on before Star Wars. Now, like I've always said before, let me know what you guys think about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.